peas in a bong. Two peas in a bong. Two peas in a bong.
Two peas and a bong. Two peas and a bong. Two peas
in a bong.
I see y'all already in here talking shit. two peas in a bong in the building. It's your boy DP.
It's your boy KP.
And trying to beat CP time, it's your boy BONG. What's good?
Good. What's up with y'all? What's up, engineer? Alf sucks at mock drafts. What's good with y'all? Man, so
what up?
Jumping into this NBA action, might as well get right to it. Cleveland defeats the Indiana Pacers and by a score of 126-104. 2-1 is the series. They are down 2-1. We'll get to the second game, but that was another L by a home team. And I was like, damn, is this about to be just the trend of the whole playoffs? But what y'all think about this one, man? Cleveland got a chance to tie this up in the next game. A real shot.
Hey, go for it. I was gonna say what a difference healthy players make.
For sure. Hell
but
yeah.
Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
You know, I was on that road to Damascus. I saw the light, so I'm wearing the shades. I was on the donkey, and after the first two games, I fell off my ass and was in disarray. And now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, yes, when they're healthy, when Evan Mobley is healthy, he's getting 3 blocks, 3 steals. He's playing defense. With rebounding, it helps with what's the guy? Jared Allen. Mm-hmm. It helps. Like Jared Allen had 4 offensive rebounds. Evan Mobley 5 offensive rebounds. Donovan Mitchell 5 offensive rebounds. That's a lot of second chance opportunities. Max Strus looked a lot better. He not only was he shooting the ball good, but he had 7 rebounds and 7 assists to go with 20 points, shot 67% from the field. You look at Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is, through the first 3 games, he's got over 30 points. Second player in Cleveland.
He was averaging 40.
Yeah, but second player in Cleveland Cavaliers history, the history of their franchise, to do that in the first 3 playoff games of a series. And I think we know the first man in Cleveland Cavaliers history to accomplish that. But
Ramon?
Ramon? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's his middle name. Absolutely. For those of y'all that don't know, that's LeBron's middle name. Mm-hmm. So but Donovan Mitchell is he's unstoppable, man. Unstoppable in this series.
Oh man, did you see that one where he went up to dunk? And then changed it, took the contact, and still finished with the N1.
Jordan-esque.
Hey,
that was
somebody was on Twitter said if he would have done that in the 80s, they've been calling him the GOAT.
Oh man, hey man,
hey, that was nice.
It was tough. It was tough.
Hey, KP, you gave your shout outs, but Alf Sucks at Mock Drafts was giving one to Darius Garland.
Man, come on, man.
He said he played extremely good defense without fouling in the second half when he was really needed. Not scoring like you want, but he did more than enough.
It's not enough.
You know what, man?
When he got them 2 turnovers in a row, I was like, what are you doing, baby?
Come on,
Just out
man.
of rhythm, man.
Yeah, we can't give them brownie, like that's brownie points at that point. I think that they would have done the same thing with or without Darius Garland. Like Darius Garland in the first half, and yes, he didn't foul in the second half, but in the first half he had 4 fouls in 12 minutes. Like, he was in disarray. He did have a couple nice plays. I will say he had the nice dish to Evan Mobley for the dunk. He did hit a couple timely shots.
Yeah, he
But
dropped like 10, 9,
yeah,
10,
he
something
had
like
10.
that.
He had
10.
10. I'll tell you who's struggling in this, and I forgot who said it that was talking about Ty Jerome, and I was like,
Man,
man,
you've been on Ty Jerome's neck.
hey man,
Paul,
look,
bro.
the announcers even said tonight, they said, and this is a rough series for Ty Jerome. He probably shouldn't play that much. So I didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, with Indiana just they were never in it. Like Benedict Mathurin came to play, but unfortunately he was on the bench. He came off the bench. You had
Go ahead.
TJ McConnell came to play,
Yeah, I was gonna say he
but
did cool.
Yeah, but he came off the bench.
I mean, but he normally does.
No, I know, but I'm giving a theme here.
Okay.
Obi Toppin played, he didn't shoot the ball well, but he had 5 assists. He came off the bench. Like, where were your starters? In the third quarter, Pascal Siakam, yes, that's what I'm calling him right now. Pascal Siakam did have a point where he kind of got busy, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed. And it seemed like the bench players in the third quarter found some kind of rhythm to score, but every time they would score, they couldn't get stops. And
Yeah,
and it
well,
was like
they
never
didn't stop penetration, and what Cleveland did on the other side defensively is they went to more of like a zone.
with Mobley at the top.
And that was crazy because it seemed like that threw the Pacers way off. Like they weren't knocking his shots down. And they weren't McConnell came in and took advantage of getting to the middle of the zone a couple times.
Yes.
He took some short jumpers, made some passes, but that looked like that was the move to get them off their square for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I think it also doesn't help that Halliburton was doing a silent protest to get his pops back on Celebrity Row. Like, hey, listen, man, y'all gonna take this 2 for 8 until Pops get back on.
that could be the case, man.
He was on his Moses, let my people show.
He want Pops back in there with the terrible towel.
Yeah. Oh man, so y'all trying to go to the Western Conference already.
Other game, right? Yeah.
Hey man,
we gonna
listen,
get to that.
We're gonna get to it, but everything y'all saying, just know, yeah, all of it. I mean,
yeah, but Donovan Mitchell was getting to the bucket whenever he wanted to. They didn't stop him at all. Like he was penetrating, and then he's a good free throw shooter too. So, I mean, he's just gonna be effective regardless. Especially against them. Who do they have that you would really put on him if you're going man?
Nesmith or Mathurin, Benedict Mathurin.
Which Mathurin, as you said, was coming off the bench. So if you're starting Nesmith, you're going with him. He may get Nesmith in foul trouble, and you're gonna have to bring Mathurin in.
Yeah, I would do that because what's his name? Or Nembhard. Yeah, Nembhard.
I don't think Nembhard is big
strong
enough. Yeah, like he don't have the strength for it.
I agree.
He's a problem.
That's why I said Nesmith first.
Yeah, he's a problem for them for sure, and will be for any of the other squads that are left in this.
Yeah.
Guard wise, like he's gonna be a problem for all of them.
He's
But
got another gear.
hey, man, this is one W though. They gotta do. Can they snatch 2 in a row?
Got to.
I think they can. I see this next game. This next game is going to be a terrible game because it's going to be real physical, real chippy. Like you saw at the end that like they were trying to put Johnson in. Is it Johnson? I'm trying to think of the fighter.
Oh
Jalen,
yeah.
Oh, the neck tattoos.
James
James Johnson. That's
Johnson.
it.
They did.
Yeah,
They did.
exactly. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, yeah. What are we doing?
They're putting him in though because they're like we got to bring that toughness and we got to scare you and intimidate you and try to punk you. We're
Right.
in Indy and we can't afford to let this one get away. So,
But when I say what are we doing, it's like if you're gonna play him, why don't you play him in different spurts of the game? Why don't you put him in at different times? Just for if you're talking about physicality alone, like I'm just saying, especially if you see y'all getting pushed around, y'all getting punked.
yeah,
Why are you waiting until the last 3? What I send y'all in the chat, that last 3 minutes of that game, boy, yee,
was a shit show. Disgusting. Let's just watch it and fast forward.
Hey, listen, that can be said about both games. If we're being honest, the last 3 minutes of regulation for the next game was a shit show too.
It just was more meaningful within that because it was going to be decided within the last 3 minutes. I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it was like, man, hurry up and end this, please.
Yeah.
I've seen enough.
Right.
Mine eyes have seen enough.
But yeah,
pull out his eyes, apologize.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Lakers in 5.
What's his name? Yeah, James Johnson. You know, it took him a little while to actually get warmed up because I mean, at first he could barely get up to try to dunk. I think he got fouled and missed the dunk.
Shit,
And it was
he ain't been playing.
I know. I'm like, man, he's been sitting forever.
Excuse me.
And then you know, legs got a little warm, and then he started making some moves and finishing, and it was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, this is an NBA player. But at first, he's out there like a cage fighter.
Hey, let me see. You talking that shit?
What?
James? Hey, I say you talking that shit about James Johnson? That motherfucker is
certified.
Yeah.
I'm saying he was out there looking like a cage fighter.
And I'm saying a certified cage fighter. Everybody who's got stories about him say he'll put them paws on you. So, hey, Bong, where's that disclaimer? We gotta put up about KP shit.
Just in case James, what's his name, Johnson, comes across us wearing some of our merch. Hey man, ain't you got my? No, it was KP. Remember?
Oh shit!
The thoughts and views of KP are his and his alone.
Oh shit!
And then we see Siakam running up behind his ass too, like, "Oh, me too." No, I go. Siakam, like, I heard you talking shit. Right?
Yeah, Siakam. Is that what you said? Nah.
Oh man,
you was about to say something, though, KP?
Nah.
Okay. Well, shit. Anything else on that game? I'm saying you might as well go to the next one if you ain't got nothing else on this Cleveland Indiana game.
No. I ain't got nothing else to talk about with them.
All right, well, Bong. Let's go straight. Let's go straight to that last 3 minutes you were talking about of this game.
Man, SGA, man, SGA. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just wanted to see what y'all said because we haven't even like really exchanged our thoughts on this shit.
SGA, like it was more so. If I had to take a step back and really look at it, it was more so selfishness towards the end of the game where you trying to be the hero even though you ain't got it. But I'm talking about you miss one, okay, And he missing them. Everything he missing is short too. He missing them all short. I'm like, okay, you missed one. You got your boy Jalen. One of the Jalen's is cooking,
J Dub,
right?
J Dub
Williams.
cooking.
Yeah.
32
Y'all holding
points.
on. I'm talking about y'all holding on to the lead by 1 point,
Mhm,
3
Yeah.
points, 1 point, 3 points. So to see all that, and I think he missed maybe like 6 straight. He missed like 6 straight shots, like down the stretch, and all those shots, man, just allowed Denver to continue to chop away at that lead, man. And I think, I don't care about, we can talk about Hartenstein and his air balls, a couple of air balls that he shot. You know what I'm saying? When his cheeks got tight, when the game was tight. But your MVP, the quote unquote MVP of the league, I need more from you down the stretch, or for you to understand that it's not your night and to go get somebody else involved. You can't just be one dimensional where it's like, hey man, I'm gonna put up this shot, I'm gonna score, and if I can't do that, I bring no value to the team.
So I agree with some of the stuff that you're saying, right? But it's slight. Okay, so I'll start by saying with Jokic and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I think that this MVP race is really on their minds. Like they're trying to figure out who got it, and it feels like they're trying to battle it out, even though the vote is already done. They just haven't announced it. It just kind of feels like that. In which in this series, Jokic played like he was the MVP in game 1. Shea came back in game 2. He played more like the MVP in game 2. And then game 3, they both shit the bed. Both of them stink from the field. But when this award comes out, I can assure you one thing. They will both rebound from whatever the outcome is. And if you look at their rebounds tonight, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had 13 rebounds. Jokic had 16 rebounds. So that was the one like excellent thing that both of them did was they were rebounding well, both of them. Now,
SGA missed. Hold on.
7 to
What?
22.
Okay.
yeah, like I said some of it I agree with you on,
But what I'm saying is
but
that's inexcusable because I
but
don't know.
I,
If
And
you look at
Jokic
the
was 8 of 25, so both
yeah,
stars were.
but I'm saying it wasn't like all he was trying to like he was trying to score because he scores. He's the leading scorer in the NBA, so he's going to chuck up shots. But
Okay.
so when he got, and let me just say this real quick before you go, DP. Why then in overtime did he try and start being a facilitator? If that's what if your argument is that he's the league's leading scorer, he's gonna take shots, nigga, keep shooting in overtime. Why did it took you to get to overtime to realize that it ain't falling? Now in overtime, when your whole team is collapsing around you, they need you now. Now you facilitating. Oh, here, you take it. You take it. You take it. I ain't got it tonight, fellas. It was just,
I'll say that to me, it just looked like OKC hasn't been in the trenches of battle. They haven't really been on the battlefield in this type of situation where Denver has.
I don't know if that's necessarily it. This is their second time around where they played really close games last year and almost were on the verge of going to the finals. So they've been in the trenches. They just been on the wrong side of it. So the lack of
They almost go
experience.
to the finals.
I'm saying with their run last
Oh,
year,
you're talking about the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
I'm saying that. Yeah, that's where we are right now. My bad.
Yeah,
I should have specified, but that's where we are right now, trying to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
they were on the verge of that last year, and they had close games, so they've been in the trenches. What you're trying to apply right now is what you could have said about them last year. The lack of experience and not being there before. You've been there before. You guys still young. You're young. You've been there before. I get it, but come on. At some point, you got to make it happen. SGA, like Bong was saying, SGA, hey, you the guy. So they're gonna put the ball in your hands. You got to figure out. This is what I mean about savvy. The same thing we say about the Celtics. Yeah, if your strategy is to shoot threes, motherfucker, have enough savvy to know it's time to go to the cup, right? So SGA, Denver was also playing a zone of some sorts, right?
Yeah.
Because they're packing the paint. They know SGA wants to penetrate, and even Jalen Williams, they're killing them that way. But SGA didn't put the pressure on Brown. He made him. He put pressure enough for him to take a couple steps back, and all he did was do a step back and shoot. What are you doing? Hey, you gotta go to the cup. Even the last shot that he took, where he's
In
going
regulation.
under where he's going under the dude's arms. KP, we were talking about Carmelo Anthony, where we said he's one of the guys who would go to the basket, wasn't necessarily flopping, he was going to finish, right? Why are you not going to finish? You're not putting the pressure on the defense. As Bong says, hey, you're settling for shots. You were settling and coming up short. So if you're going to go to the cup, go like you're going to score, to where a motherfucker has to knock you down so you don't. Now you're putting pressure on the defense and the referees. Referees ain't going to give you that flopping ass call at the end of the game. It's not working.
I agree with that. I'm saying, but I still say that they haven't won in the second round. So they still haven't got past this point. They haven't made it over the hump.
But KP, not winning and not being in the trenches, that's two different things. You can be in it and not win. And they've been there, is what I'm saying.
And if we're being honest, OKC should be up 3-0. Like, the first game for sure was coaching malpractice. That game one, with the way they handled the free throw situation, easily should have been up 1-0. They come out and they look good in game two. Then down the stretch in a tight game, like, it's almost like it. You try not to think about it, but then you start really saying it, like that championship DNA, that the difference between, what I'm saying, what's my man that was that dunk contest?
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon, how many times he done killed you from
He
three?
coming through.
Yeah, like that, man.
Aaron Jordan.
Yeah, man. He hitting timely shots. And then what happens is, like, you see it. I always see that with Denver, right? Like, you gave them life with the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
When you give them life with the overtime, that's when Jamal Murray, you're in trouble when Jamal Murray gets to cooking, gets to doing his little shit.
Yeah.
Because he kind of feeds off momentum. So, you know what I'm saying? If it's a bad game and it's going the other way, his mojo not there. But once you give him that second opportunity, we go up 2. Oh, y'all not gonna score? Oh, we go up 5. Y'all not gonna. Oh, it's over. It's over. I'm looking at the shit like, and again, same thing I said about Edie last round. These big 7-foot motherfuckers that's skyscrapers, giraffes, that shit ain't gonna work. Y'all big ass motherfuckers in there and can't. Chet Holmgren, I don't give a fuck if Jokic is in there. You tall enough, bro. You should be yamming everything.
Yeah.
Soft around the basket.
I thought Chet played well, man.
He played cool, but it's spots where he could be a little bit more aggressive. I like Hartenstein.
I like.
I remember even down. Remember it was down.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just gotta stop with that.
No, it's good. The floater's good.
No, but I'm just saying, like that down the stretch though, when he got it,
he airball too.
Yeah, he was like,
yeah. Uba said what happened. His
cheeks got tight. That's all it was. I'm not even. But here's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at.
But overall, they bigs are cool.
Yeah, I'm talking about. There was a possession where Hartenstein and Holmgren had like 4 or 5 tips at the basket. It ends up with a double foul.
Yeah,
it ends up being a double foul, jump ball. Denver gets the ball. Now it's like, y'all motherfuckers over here playing tic-tac-toe or pity-pat around the basket. You two big 7-foot motherfuckers. One of y'all grab the ball and dunk that shit. Chat.
Yeah.
Grab the ball and dunk that shit, bro. Like he's 7-something, tall as hell.
Yeah,
Like
7-1. Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
don't make any sense why y'all doing that soft ass shit.
Yeah.
It just
they
reminds me of,
both had double doubles though.
yeah, you just
5 of them may have come off of that play. 5
one play.
rebounds.
Like these, like that shit right there is like, especially when you got, especially in a game where Jokic is not showing his best, right?
Yeah.
Like y'all motherfuckers be letting people off the hook, man. It makes no sense, man. And I think, coaching at the end of the day, coaching is a factor, man. I don't know, maybe how long is their current coach been there?
Who?
With OKC?
OKC?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to look it up.
Because maybe this is one of those times where it might be time for them to hear another voice. You know what I'm saying? You've got them as far as you can get. Don't say it's too early. They did that to Mark Jackson. They did it to Mark Jackson in Golden State. They brought in Steve Kerr. Next year they went and won a championship. So like, I mean, if we got a team that's ready to go right now, and somehow we keep faltering and coming up short when we're the favorites going into the playoffs the last 2 years running, we've been the favorites going into the playoffs the last 2 years running, and we faltered last year, and it looks like we're trying to do the same thing this year. Like something's got to give. You guys have the talent. You guys blow through the regular season, but when you guys get into these tight games, when you guys get into these real competitive games that really count, all of a sudden, motherfuckers start falling apart. That's not on players. That's on the coaching.
Yeah, I remember I asked y'all about that though when we were talking about how OKC moved off of the Durant, Westbrook, and Harden trio and kind of broke that shit up. I was like, well, shit, what happens if they lose this year? How long you gonna give this unit a chance to keep going before you say, all right, we got to do something? Bong, you saying it's coaching? I mean, will they start looking at players too? At some point?
The coach has been there for 6 years. This is his 6th season.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Gotta go. Well, here's the thing.
You gotta go. I seen a
motherfucker
in Milwaukee win a championship and got booted 2 years later. This motherfucker ain't won shit.
When you get rid of them, you got to be able to bring somebody in better. Who's out there better that can do this?
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying get rid of them, but I mean, people are looking to
I know. I'm asking Bong,
faces.
Bong is like get rid of them. So I'm saying who you got to bring in somebody better that can get them over the hump. Which coach can get them over the hump?
Hey man,
then it won't make sense.
Shit, Denver just fired a championship coach, right?
Yeah,
bring in Mike Malone.
He's an old school guy. He's not gonna ride with them. They're not gonna ride with him.
But here's the funny thing:
he's old school.
Y'all been doing the rah shit for a long time. It's not working. So maybe y'all motherfuckers do need some old school. Maybe y'all do need some some discipline. Somebody to put y'all in some boot camp shit. Y'all be doing that goofy shit way too much. Like I hate the way they roll. After every game, if someone's doing an interview, the whole team is standing there like my.
You don't like that shit?
Nah, that shit goofy as hell. That's what. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he's sitting with the nigga in belly with the banana. I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit. But again, like they want that goofy, like childish AAU type environment. That's why y'all motherfuckers getting run when it count. Because these other motherfuckers, Aaron, what's his name? Aaron Gordon, he came into the playoffs like he had just went 12, 15 rounds with somebody. He like, man, fuck all that. I just slugged it out with somebody in this locker room, man, but we about to get out here and go get this money. Like, that's the difference. Like, I don't want to see that AAU goofy, all friends. They doing commercials together. They got the AT&T, is that the AT&T commercial where they all wearing the same shit? Like, hey, you wear my shit.
You know what though? You know what though, Bong? That's they talk about heat culture and all this other kind of stuff. That's their culture.
That's the OKC culture.
And you know what? It's gonna be hard to bring one person in there, especially if it's just a coach, to try to change that shit around, right? I just saw Kevin Garnett talking about when he went back to Minnesota
I saw that.
to end his career,
Yeah.
and how he was talking about he went into the locker room and it was nobody in there.
Yeah.
Like
At
at halftime,
halftime.
there was nobody in
On
there.
their
They was
phones.
they were all in the trainers at the trainers tables on their phones, kicking it and laughing and shit. And he said he basically had to go in there and like restore some order and like
Yeah.
put some shit in place. But he was like, at the same time, he had to find a way to connect to the young players so they wouldn't just be like, get this nigga out of here, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, I feel you, but they got a room full of just young ones. He at least had Rubio and I think Wiggins was
Yeah. Yeah.
there,
He said
but
Wiggins was kind of feeling what he was saying too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Scotty
I mean,
boy, what up? What up?
o-
What up? Hey,
okay, see, yeah, they all
I'm telling you,
youngsters.
man. If they lose this series, explain to me how you justify bringing back this coach who can't get them across the finish line. I just don't see how you
Be-
can
Hey,
justify bringing back the coach.
yeah, before we answer that question, I just want to say Scotty Boy's responses always indicate what his bets were probably on. I'm assuming he went with some thunder shit
Yeah.
He wants
and
SGA
they
shit.
fucked him
No,
up.
no. I know what he went with because I did terrible on parlays today.
Okay. But my
Yeah.
bad, Bong, my bad.
So I know
No,
exactly.
but
I
you know,
share
like
your
I said,
sentiment.
I'm trying to see how you can justify bringing back. I'm trying to see how you can justify bringing back a coach that's been there 6 years, been the favorite to come out of the West the last 2 years, and doesn't make it out this. Did he make? Were they at least they were in the Western Conference Finals last
No,
year?
No,
no.
no, no,
Okay,
no.
they
They were
got
in the second round.
again. That's like, what are we doing here? Like, yeah, it's fun during the regular season. It's always fun. Always have a good time. They were talking about them. They were talking about them beating the almost beating the Warriors. You know,
Mhm.
73-9 shit earlier in the year. Like,
Yeah, it
y'all,
was
there's no
whatever.
respect. There's no respect on that. There's like,
Wait,
I
hey,
was
but
literally,
Bong, that's why I was that was my point about Cleveland. That's all I was trying to say about Cleveland. Like, yeah, y'all had a great regular season, but what you gonna do in the playoffs? And not that first round bullshit against, you know, the
yeah.
10th seed or
They're
whatever. But now, you know.
Because even if you think about that Golden State 73-9 season, right? Again, they were one Draymond Green misstep away from just doing everything they were supposed to do, right? 73-9, we rolling, we up 3-1 in the motherfucking in the finals. This we on our way to a championship. Draymond Green gets suspended, but what I'm saying is there was still some meaning behind that. They were in the finals and went to 7 games with that 73-9. So, they can disrespect it saying like, oh man, the 72-10 Bulls will always be the one. But we were talking about this OKC team in the same breath as no, hell nah. I don't give a fuck what y'all do during the regular season. The coach gotta go. If they get beat and the coach comes back, it's not a serious franchise. And now we've been asking this question over the last couple of weeks about OKC, like, man, like, why can't they get it done? Why, like, why are they always the bridesmaid, not the bride? Like, I see now, like, it's not a serious franchise. You can't be. If you're going to bring this coach back after he fails to get it done when the GM has put everything in place, you've made all the right moves, you worked the hell out of trades, you know what I'm saying? We know that.
Question for you.
I hear you, but
Question for you. Was this game lost because of coaching, you think?
I think at the end of the game, you see your star player not getting it done, and you probably have to call a timeout and say, "Hey, man, we need you to put your head down, get to the basket, turn this into a free throw shooting game." Right? Everything he did was either the three or a shitty mid range. Like, that's not working, bro. Like, I just can't. Every shot was short, and I'm like, damn, is he tired? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh, they were in Denver, so I mean, maybe the altitude. Who knows, man? Maybe it was the altitude. You know what I'm saying, at Denver that really got to him because his shots were short. there were a lot of OKC shots late were short, right? And maybe that altitude was really messing with them. But if that's the case, switch it up, do something else. You know what I'm saying? Deal World was good with it.
And then
I-
and then Alpha sucks not at mock drafts. We may need to holler at your boy so KP can use him as a source when he's coming up with these bets for the parlays and stuff for the locks at the end of the show. So, but yeah,
um,
what's good, Deal World, as Ubang was saying for sure. Deal
nah,
World in the
just
building.
I mean, to me, it's like, okay, you can say you're gonna fire the coach, but you've got to bring somebody in where they don't have a drop off and they can do better. So, who would you propose as a coach come in and take this squad that's the number one seed in the West and get them past the second round?
I told you.
KP, do you think it was coaching this game? The reason they lost, you think it was coaching?
Um, I think it was, yeah, I think it was a little. I think it was a little coaching, but I think it was more on players. Like I can see it being on both because what he's done was he went with Jalen Williams a little bit more in game 2 and game 3 to be physical with Jokic. And that part of it seemed to have worked because Jokic struggled today in game 3 on the offensive side. But when he went with that, he didn't necessarily have a counter with all of his guards and getting all of his guards in. So it's a situation like you have Isaiah Joe, like they're just in some areas they just have too much. They have one or two too many guys that are rotational guys that they're going to have to make a decision. Either you're going to play them or you're going to sit them and you're going to trade them in the offseason. I think he ran into that with Isaiah Joe, and because he only played 3 minutes. It wasn't like he played bad. It was just Aaron Wiggins
I was
came
gonna
in.
ask, were you about to say something about Wiggins?
Aaron Wiggins came in and kind of knocked it out the park, and he was the last man to get in. He was the 10th man, and it was like, we're riding with Wiggins. Wiggins is the guy, so we're going with him. And that can be hard for players when they don't know what their minutes are going to look like
But
from game.
they've been doing that though with like Wiggins, Joe, Wallace, like.
Well, no, those guys were playing, but it was what's his name that wasn't playing. The other Jalen Williams, he kind of found himself on the outs, but because of this series and what's going on with Jokic and his physicality, they've been playing him more. They played him more in game 2, more in game 3.
Okay.
Because of that, it's kind of taken away the rotational minutes from those guys. So that's the part where it's like, you know. And the domino effect is that, okay, now you're playing Shea. Shea's playing more minutes. Maybe you should have played Shea a little bit less and went with your one of your rotational guards a little longer because they were playing all right, and Shea never really seemed to find the rhythm. Would have gave him a chance to rest a little bit more and find the rhythm and perform a little bit better down the stretch.
Well, based on what Alf Sucks at Mock Drafts is saying, it sounds like he doesn't think that it's a coaching issue. He says, I mean,
Again,
they were generating pretty good looks, play designs and subs didn't really look like a problem either. So
again,
But I said it was both.
you get into
I said it was both.
you
It
get
was
it
both too.
when you get into the playoffs, it's mental warfare, right? And I'm seeing y'all. I didn't stick around for the post game or anything, but SGA smiling, cheesing after the game. It's the AAU shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not even accountability. You know, I think when if I have to think like what was going on with SGA, he probably smiling more so as to hide the embarrassment because I mean, in front of like you guys had control of the game, and then to squander it away when you're supposed to be putting it away, you squandered the game away late. Like that's on you as a leader. That's on you as the MVP of the league or potential MVP of the league. But the game in the playoffs is not about X's and O's. Yeah, X's and O's look good, but sometimes that's where you as a coach have to go and have hard conversations with your star. You have to have those tough conversations with, you know what I'm saying, these guys. And because of the environment that it seems like they're in, where it's a real happy-go-lucky, everybody's family. After we win games, it doesn't matter who goes up there for the interview. Most times it's SGA. We're going to crowd around him like we're all like in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to have a bottle of water and we're going to do some little goofy shit. Like, cut that shit out and tell them, like, Shay, hey, knock that shit off and get to it. Like, if you the guy, go be the guy.
But you know
Because
what?
now,
Man? Go ahead.
Because now you fucking with my job.
You know what though? What I'll say to this, you know, the comments about laughing and smiling and all of that. We were talking about this with Anthony Edwards and
LeBron.
the rest of the Timberwolves the other day when they were
when
in
they
their
shot
post game
terribly.
interview and they were talking
They
about how
lost.
bad they shot and they were laughing and giggling and you know, him and Julius Randle and it was somebody else. What I'll say about that, the days of like the Kobe Bryants and the Jordans and the dudes who are just really, really serious and those types of interviews and nobody is, those days are over. Like, no, I'm being serious. I don't think the players are like that anymore. Like it's over.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think of the ones who
even
the ones that you're, even the ones you want to say maybe face of the league and all of that other kind of stuff. How many of them you think are really like giving real serious type interviews, like a '90s interview, or we gotta play hard, or they in the press conference pissed off or head? Like those days are over, man. These players, these young guys are looking at it like this is a game, dog. I play a game, and it's
They're
fun.
more concerned about
win or
getting on the
lose is fun.
There
you go.
They want to smoke, drink, hop on bitches after. Like they're not even tripping. That's why I say, like, you know, the NBA is in bad hands, man. It's in terrible hands right now because
you think so?
Hell yeah, because America's star players are Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, LaMelo Ball. Like these dudes,
Jason Tatum.
You know what, Jason Tatum. And when you now, if as we really slow down and take a good look at the landscape, Jason Tatum by default is the only one that really could truly be the face. Like he's the one he probably is polished, is buttoned up. He gonna try and say the right things, even though it sounds corny as hell sometimes.
Y'all see that Superman commercial?
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson could be him. He seems like he's pretty stoic. He's pretty stoic, and he's got like that old school, you know, like I really care type of attitude. Again,
but even they got a college type vibe because they play college together and all that.
But they coach. They got a hard-nosed, old school coach.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling you, right? So you got these young guys. Those Villanova guys are pretty young, right? Josh Hart still be giving himself high fives and shit, doing that goofy shit. That's fine. But when it's time to get busy and get to work,
yeah,
that coach is gonna make sure that these motherfuckers is let's get it.
Jay Wright had already had them like that at Villanova.
So
you get what I'm saying? So
like they were already like that.
But he's potential now. So what happens tomorrow night? That is the one game I've been looking forward to for the weekend.
The Knicks
in Madison Square Garden tomorrow. I want to see if the Knicks come out and beat the Celtics.
I'll be there.
If the Knicks, old ass players.
You're gonna see everybody from the New York scene, like the city of New York right now. I've got to believe is like, you know, they putting Go Knicks on the subway stations and all that.
They on a super high right now.
Oh yeah, they sound like Bart Scott.
It's a noon game. It's an early game.
Is it?
Oh, that's supposed to be a prime time.
Right? Yeah, can't wait.
That's supposed to be a prime time game. But anyway, what I was
saying,
New York
say they got a party after the dub. They expect to win.
If New York wins tomorrow, we can see New York making the finals run. At that point, if we talk about anything's conspiracy theory with the league, I don't want to see Indiana in the finals. I'm sorry. No
Boston
disrespect.
needs the first game. Even if they're gonna
Game
lose
3.
one, they need this next one. If they were to, I wouldn't say that they're dead if they were to win this one and happen to lose the next one, because then they going back to the crib where they've obviously they've
It's
tricked it
3-1.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and we've seen teams come back from 3-1.
yeah. So, but if they lose the next one, ooh-wee.
We've only seen it happen one time where a team was down 3-0 and forced a game 7. And that was the Portland Trailblazers against the Dallas Mavericks. I think that was 2002 or 2003, something like that.
Okay.
But
Before we go too far along, Bong, I wanted to ask you, when you said the NBA was in the wrong hands, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it really is? Because I remember it was you who sent us that breakdown of how the young folks are consuming basketball, and like how they're targeting young folks and all this stuff. So I think even the NBA is looking for a different audience than us.
Yeah.
Like I
mean,
think
and-
they're
and-
looking for the young folks that, you know, are
and-
in tune with the way that these guys laugh and giggle and do all
Well,
of this other kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
if this is the product, you're going to put out there, then you have to attract the audience that wants this product. But the thing about it is, the NBA, that's great. You're going after a younger audience, right? A younger viewership, but it's the old rich motherfuckers that spend money. So that's why when we talk about the corporate sponsors, when we talk about the business of the NBA or the business of the NFL, right? And how we have to appeal to the corporate sponsors, until we start getting 20-something-year-old CEOs, the motherfuckers that write the checks, they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's great that you want to appeal to a target market, to a target audience that's younger, and I understand the appeal in that. But you still have to find somebody, and that's why I'm saying, like, Jason Tatum, even by default, because he will get up there and say the right things. He's mature enough that he's not going to do the goofy shit that Ant likes to do. He's not going to come up with a new bomb celebration and then, you know, like Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? He's not cussing and laughing like he's 12 like LaMelo Ball. Like, Jason Tatum and like you said, KP, if the Knicks can pull this off and beat Boston, I don't see why the NBA doesn't clear the runway for Jalen Brunson to make his way to the finals. Clear the runway
say
for,
old heads hate Jason Tatum, boy.
but
Yeah,
clear the
Brunson.
runway for Brunson to make a finals run, and then you're talking about you putting New York back on a, you know what I'm saying? You're putting New York back on the map. By default, they will give you that crown. And he looks like, again, you talk about his dad and his lineage to the and his connections in the NBA and the NBA's history and all the people that are connected. Like, it's basically like they ushered his ass down in New York to do exactly what you're saying that he could do. So
Absolutely.
So you think he can be the face of the league?
hell yeah. If the Knicks can make it to the finals, listen, I'll say this. Now the West doesn't look too, you know, when the playoffs first started, it was like, hey man, OKC basically has this thing. The West is looking shaky as hell. All that shit, hey man, we this, that, okay. Minnesota, y'all look good against the Lakers. We see that's fool's gold. Motherfucker. I mean, every time I think about that game 5 where what's the big center that Draymond choked out?
Gobert.
Gobert gave us a 20-20, and now looking at this motherfucker, he'll have 3 points, 4 points. It's like, the Lakers
And
was
he's
fool's
sitting on the
gold.
bench like
Lakers was fool's
doing all
gold. Lakers was fool's gold, right? So now we pumped up Minnesota, And if not for Steph getting hurt, they looking like they couldn't handle Golden State.
Hey, Bong. Scotty Boy says
Come
Brunson
on,
face
Scotty.
of the league. What you smoking on, Bong?
I'm
Smoking on
telling you,
something in that bong?
absolutely. But what I'm telling you is, if the New York Knicks make a finals run, hell, if the New York Knicks win the finals, I promise you, he will be the face you see on TV every single day starting next year.
He is a rising star in the league. He will be one of the stars, but I still say the face of the league, that person has to be dynamic,
That
athletically dynamic.
That's what I was gonna say. What that was one of the things I said. You got
And
to
he's
be
not
dynamic.
athletically dynamic enough. But that's one of the criterias.
Yeah,
Again, I see him trying to push.
gotta-
They're trying to push AE. AE is on TV a lot. Anthony Edwards on TV. I think he got Chipotle commercial now. So
Yeah.
Adidas making a hell of a push. Obviously his AE ones last year was widely seen as sneaker of the year in the in the sneaker community. So everything is working. They got. I mean, Adidas is doing their job. They doing it better than they did for my man from the Olympics. They working for AE.
If Spider was in a different if Spider was in a different market, I would seriously consider Donovan Mitchell. But he's just always been in the wrong market.
He'd have to be a Laker or where Brunson is.
Yeah,
which they were talking about getting them to New York at one point
years ago. Yeah,
and it just didn't happen.
Thank you.
He's just always been in the wrong market. Like
what's good, Nunya? See you in the building.
Nunya was good with it. Hey, can you highlight? Can you highlight?
I was going to it.
Okay. Again, which is why I'm saying the caveat is there's caveats in here.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, if the Knicks won an NBA championship, everything with Brunson would just be supercharged and fast forwarded. Like the New York media market can push him into superstardom immediately. Like it won't take as much time. Like you're talking about Donovan Mitchell and the fact that he doesn't have he's in the wrong market.
Yeah.
Okay. The same can be said for Jalen Brunson. He's in the right market. If he can win a championship, everything that it would take maybe Donovan Mitchell 3 or 4 years to do, it can happen overnight for him in New York because of that New York media, because of the mystique, because of everything that surrounds New York, right? That is a market that is starving for just validity. You see how they was going crazy when the fucking WNBA chicks won a fucking championship over there because motherfuckers ain't seen a chip. They taking the WNBA. What the fuck is going on? When the Sparks was winning, we was cool. We was happy. Yeah. But it wasn't like, hey man, yeah.
Oh no, but I'm gonna tell you, it was like that in Minnesota too. When the Link were winning,
Lynx
were winning in Minnesota. They were excited.
Oh, but again, why though, KP? Because Minnesota, exactly. They ain't got shit else.
Yeah,
New York,
Puckett ain't walking through those doors.
Oh man, New York, you stupid. So Bong, I feel you on the about New York, right? It's just I think Brunson. I think Brunson will reach his pinnacle as the face of the franchise versus the face of the league. I think face of the franchise, it'll be like, okay, great, Brunson. They'll push him because he's the face of the Knicks. They already arguing if Brunson is the greatest Knick ever. I see stuff like that going around. But as far as like, I look at it like, let's say a D Wade. Like D Wade was getting championships and all of that stuff, but it wasn't quite like LeBron level, right? And we even talked about them being on the same team where, yeah, he's a franchise player, which is great, but would he be the face of the league? I don't think Wade was ever in the hunt for the face of the league, but
hear me out, DP. I'm saying with New York, everything, all those people in the front 3-4 rows, those are all billionaires that push culture, right? Like these motherfuckers can have Jalen Brunson on 15 different things that will all of a sudden now you see him on TV every day.
Does he have the
Like
personality?
it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't
I
matter.
think it does though.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't
I mean,
matter.
no,
Shohei
I think-
Ohtani can't even speak English.
But Bong, that's why it's not working for Jason Tatum. Because you don't have the person. He doesn't have. If Jason Tatum had like Anthony Edwards' personality, like
It's him.
the
He's a
flair,
megastar.
but
He's
was
a
still
megastar.
like kind of saying what he needed to say, it would be ridiculous. You win
I'm
a
telling you, man,
championship, you're
I
in
don't
Boston.
think
Like,
Brunson has the personality
oh,
of
I don't
some
know.
mock drafts.
He's not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has again, I think everything surrounding New York is, if you can, everything they say about New York, if you make it here, you can make it anywhere. Like all the little shit that comes from New York. If he can take New York to a championship this year, I can guarantee you he will be the face you see on every commercial. He's gonna start with, where's the sports drink? Give me the sneaker. Give me the this, to that. Like,
Engineer says realistically, you need a family, man.
not really.
I don't think you need a family man.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I think you need a manly man.
You need somebody who don't really let you get into that side of their life, to be honest.
Absolutely.
That you really don't know much about their personal life. He just ain't really in the news like that. You just know he's a hooper, he's dynamic, got the personality, saying what the NBA wants him to say and that kind of shit. But
You said Al sucks at mock drafts at the Portland Fire existed for all of like 3 years.
yeah,
That's
I saw
a WNBA.
Yeah.
Little WNBA Portland team. But
Yeah, he said, why couldn't they come back? They would have got, before Caitlin Clark came in, they would have got her first pick.
hey man, that WNBA season starting for those that partake.
Hey, Bong, my brother, since we haven't talked about it much, so a lot of these cats probably don't know that you're Reese's Pieces.
I'm a Reese's Pieces, yeah.
But my brother was saying he been following like some of her footage and workouts and stuff, and he said she looked like she been putting in some work and has improved her game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still following that shit. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna let the work speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm waiting. The season probably start in a couple of weeks, I think.
So Engineer is backing up his realistically you need a family man. He says, but look at LeBron, his family helps with the whole appearance. But I don't know.
That was as he got older, though. Not when he was young. He wasn't because he wasn't married when he was young. Everyone knew he had a son, and they were promoting the son, but weren't promoting him as a husband until after he got older and finally got married.
Yeah, and I mean, you hear about his sons because they play basketball, but they don't have like a family reality show, and you don't know what's going on in there. He's a family man now, so I get what Engineer is saying, but it's also like that's just what you know. You don't know much more. Like you're not in his business like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't in Jordan's business like that. You knew some personal things here and there, like that came
we
up.
found out about Jordan's family when we watched "Come Fly with Me."
Hey, right, we did the documentaries and stuff.
The funny
down
thing,
the line, but
the funny thing about Jordan was he kept it that way, and a lot of people held that against him. They were mad at him a lot because he didn't take any political stances. He just kept that shit, just kept it player. Like, listen, man, I'm out here to score baskets, sell these sneakers. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Famously said Republicans buy sneakers too. So, just again, but that's a different time and era. Right now, I don't even know what we want from our face of the league, because for me, I'm looking at Ant Edwards like in the early 2000s, where the late great David Stern was trying to get that kind of shit that you're doing out of the league. Right? Remember, they like AI, you doing this shit with the braids and with the baggy
You had
clothes.
to dress business casual. They
Exactly.
started
They
the
made him
dress
come out
code.
here.
Yeah, that's
They made
over
him,
with.
but what I'm saying is, again, somebody like AE wouldn't even be on the radar as somebody that could represent the league. So, like, what is the league? What are you looking for as a league? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure that behind closed doors, when they go and talk to their guys, they go and talk to their what do we call them?
Their shareholders, the execs, what
Um
the
whatever, like the
all the
ambassadors.
owners.
They're ambassadors
Okay,
of the league,
okay.
right?
Okay,
So AE would be considered an ambassador. I'd say like all these guys, like the key guys, and I'm pretty sure that there's been conversation about Anthony Edwards tempering, like, hey man, tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a little bit, like, we want this product to be good for the kids and for whatever, for family, this family type environment. But if y'all gonna embrace it, if y'all gonna embrace the bad guy persona, then let this shit. Hey, loosen up some of the rules, man. I want to see more fights. Give me fights. I like to see team brawls. Open that shit up. Like, stop. You
Yeah,
can't
that's
be rigid. You can't be rigid and then
ain't
have
gonna do that.
personalities.
things. Yeah, I
But you
hear
know
you.
what I'm
It's
saying?
all that
Like,
shit's it's a wrap for all of that. All
Yeah,
this
yeah.
technology and the way they using it. Oh, did he scratch his earlobe? That's a flagrant. Like, that shit
Yeah.
is over with. So we won't see brawls unless somebody just really want to smack the shit out of somebody and they
unless
like just
someone's trying
fight.
to lose all their money
Exactly. Like,
and get kicked out the league and
un-
play in China.
unless Isaiah Stewart decides to take off on somebody in one of those scruffs, like, we won't see nothing like that. Like, that's a lot of stuff from the
Deal
past
World.
is over with.
Oh, go. Yeah, yeah.
No, go
No.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was about to say Deal World, Zion being the face of the league, that ship has sailed. Zion is enamored with adult actresses and beignets. So, um, he had a chance to be the face of the league, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. He doesn't even get. I mean, not only is he buried in New Orleans, but he doesn't even play a lot. Like, and again, it's so funny with how teams are constructed now. They'll shut players down. Zion has been talking about the team and how they shut him down during the season when he felt like he was good to play. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
So I've heard some shit about that too. Like,
at what point in time are you guys going to allow the kid to play? You're going to run through a full contract where he's never played a full season.
Mhm.
It's like, what are you
it's like,
saving
what
him
are you
for?
saving them? Yeah, what are you saving them for? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, engineers saying Cade, can Cade be the face of the league? Um, I think he has to be more consistent. Cade does. Like, Cade, what I saw with Cade in this playoff series was when Cade would miss shots, Cade would start deferring. You can't have the face of the league guy can't do that. The face of the league, he's gonna go out on his shield. And I mean, Tatum will he'll go out on the shield. I don't know if it's a bad pass, a bad shot, but the ball is in his hand, he's going out on it. Anthony Edwards he's gonna go out on the shield. Um,
Kay Cunningham might be one of the more serious young players.
he is, but yeah, I don't see Cade as the face of the league. And then I don't think he's in the right market either. I don't think Detroit's the right market. I know they
Um,
have won some championships, but it yeah.
Nunya, I want to know what you're talking about with this. He said there was a fan brawl at one of high school playoff games back in the day. There was no police, so parents were fighting each other. They pulled us They pulled all his players off the field. What
Yeah,
was
he
his?
talking about he was in. He got into a little scuffle. This is his old high school game. I think he forgot to put there was a fan brawl at one of my high school games back in the
He's not
day.
trying to
Yeah.
incriminate himself, man.
Right, 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 right. None y'all see you still talking about that what's that Karen Reed
Oh,
trial?
98, 97. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we talk about market, right? We talk about markets and like, hey, like this person's here, that's not a good market. What are the good markets, KP? I say LA, I'd say New
Yeah.
York, right? Those are the two obvious
LA,
ones.
LA, NY,
Maybe a
Philly.
Dallas.
Yeah. Philly, Houston, Dallas. I would say those to start.
And what I'm telling you,
You saying for basketball?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Detroit is a good market for basketball?
No.
They're thirsting for the team just hasn't been good.
No, I
But
understand
they'll
that.
get the support.
I still don't think it's I don't think it's a good market. No.
Okay.
I
but
like
now
I
the Gators.
wonder what Dizzle would say about that.
Chicago.
Ball.
I say Chicago's a good market.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's not that many. Think about we're in the what the elite eight of
Mhm.
the NBA playoffs right now. Let's go team by team and tell me who's the face of that team and can that person be the face of the league? Steph Curry, Golden State, he's on his way out.
Yeah, we'll leave
But
him
he's on
I
out.
was
his way.
gonna
I
say
mean, he's on
yeah.
his way out.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nobody in Golden State. Then you have Minnesota. Obviously, you have Anthony Edwards. You have OKC. You have SGA.
No.
Can he be the face of the league?
No.
No.
Okay. Then you have Denver, and you have
No.
Jokic.
Jokic.
He
No.
doesn't even want it.
No.
Okay, he doesn't want
He
it.
wants to go home as soon as the
As soon as the
last
season's
buzzer
over.
of his season is done. He's heading home.
Okay, let's go to the East. So we already talked about it with Cleveland. You have Donovan Mitchell. KP, you say if not for
The bad
location,
markets that he's been in. Yeah, the bad locations that he's been in.
only one person has come out of Cleveland and been the face of the league,
And he was the
and that was
chosen one.
Ramon. And
He was
the
the
one.
chosen.
He was the one who literally funded and stimulated the Cleveland economy. He fed families while he was in Cleveland. LeBron
Yeah.
James. So I mean, okay, so we take Donovan Mitchell off the table. Then you have Halliburton in Indiana.
Absolutely not.
No.
He too goofy. He trying to work through his daddy issues.
It,
So then we'll go.
I mean, it goes back to what you said too. Like aesthetically, it doesn't look appealing.
Yeah.
And then his
As I
teammates
just watched the highlight of him dribble the ball off of his foot.
and then his teammates are most of his peers are saying he's the most overrated player in the NBA.
Which I mean, I think that's just hate. Like, cause he whether you like it or not,
He's effective.
he's cooking.
No, he's effective.
He's cooking.
But listen, you've played against people where they were cooking and you looking like, ugh.
Yeah, but does that mean that he's overrated though?
I'm not saying he's
that just sounds
overrated.
like no. His peers voted
Okay.
that he was. That just
Yeah,
sounds
his
like
peers
they don't
voted.
like him.
But
Yeah.
it's probably they don't like his game. His game is goofy.
Yeah.
So we got two more teams. We got so we keep talking about the Celtics, right? Jason Tatum. At this point, you can see it. They're trying to make him that
No.
guy. Like I know the league is trying to make him that guy, but the public doesn't. He doesn't appeal to the public.
It's listen.
Yeah,
The
talking about
one,
Halliburton.
the one who
Engineers
it
talking
is.
about Cat.
Yeah, I saw that. The one who it is, and like I say, and I agree with KP. Like Anthony Edwards has everything that's needed to be it, except for what the NBA wants in his media, the way he handles the media. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Like, it's
not
that's the
media
only
savvy.
thing. That's the only thing. Everything else is like he checks a lot of the boxes. It's just he doesn't want it like that. Like, he don't care to be that type of guy. And I think he himself referenced like guys like Wimby and all of those, that they can do that. They got those guys for that. So I don't think he wants it. That's the thing with Anthony Edwards. It's not that he can't be, he just don't want it.
Yeah. So then, I mean, that leaves us with the New York scene, and the more again, tomorrow says a lot. Tomorrow will say a lot. If New York, I know the crowd is going to be unbearable, right? Like damn near throwing batteries and shit on the floor. But I know it's going to be crazy in New York tomorrow. If they
What
can,
about? I'm sorry.
if they can win tomorrow and take a 3-0 lead over Boston and essentially put Boston out of the playoffs, if they go up 3-0, I don't see Boston winning 4 straight. We got to start. We have to start talking about. We have got to start talking about Jalen Brunson, because when they've been in tight situations, he does not shy away from the big shot.
Clutch player of the year.
He's had big moments in these playoffs.
Yeah.
He essentially out big momented Cade in the game that they put away Detroit. So again, who knew that we would be here talking about the New York Knicks potentially having the face of the league? But if he can go and win in New York,
You stamping him.
I
I'm
think
not
another
stamping him.
per-
They will. New York
No,
will.
I'm asking you though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
think
think
another
it's
person that
legitimate stamp?
He'll be the guy.
I
He'll be
think
the guy.
another person that we didn't mention because they're not in the playoffs anymore that we would have to look at is Paulo Banchero.
Marketplace. Same. I mean, if we just talk about um, market, who the fuck wants to be in Orlando?
Yeah, I like
Like,
this. You want to be in Orlando. Some of them want to be in Orlando for other
maybe,
reasons.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's a small market. That's why
Yeah,
Shaq had
no,
to
for
get up
sure.
out of there.
Yeah.
Shaq said, "Nah, nah, nah,
Yeah, him and Dwight.
get out
Yeah.
of here." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
So
it's no one's
look for
taking
Paulo
Orlando.
to get out of there.
I see people hopping in and out of the live. I see the numbers going up and down. Announce yourselves. Say what's up. Let us
Yeah,
know
right now
who
we just
you
talk
are.
about criteria for face of the league and what we're looking at, what we're
Yeah.
looking for. But I don't think it's gonna be anyone that's I don't think it's gonna be any foreigners. I don't think that they're going to do that to this game. And even though, again, they say that the game was invented in Canada by Dr. James Naismith, this is still America's game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. Y'all got a call for the game tomorrow. You think New York is winning, Boston's winning?
I I said what I like. I'm sticking to what I said before, man. I think that Boston gets one. I just don't know which one they get, but they're going to get one in New York.
What you
Doesn't
think,
matter.
Brandon?
I mean, obviously, it matters which one, but
Yeah, it does.
I think it has to be. If it's only gonna
I
be
think
one, it got to be tomorrow.
I think that if New York, this will tell me how mature of a team New York is, because everything will be working in your favor. You will literally have the crowd behind you, and Boston in 2 games so far has kind of showed us on their home court that they have mental lapses. So now that's on their home court. Imagine coming to
With the
Madison
crowd
Square.
behind them.
Exactly. That's what the support on your side.
Yeah.
You guys got walked down twice, right? imagine going somewhere now. You don't have the friendly crowd. You know all the shit that's being talked, all the shit that's being said, the electricity, just the deafening, you know what I'm saying, noise of the crowd. Like if you were having mental lapses where your role players are supposed to be play better at home, I don't know if Madison Square Garden for the craziest, you know what I'm saying, it's $1,000. I'm looking at some tickets on Vivid Seats. It's damn near $1,000 to get in the building.
Damn.
$1,000 for the nosebleeds.
But you know,
No, it's bleeding on 1,000.
with Boston and just to kind of piggyback on that, Bong, the atmosphere there, I don't think the fans are going to lose the spark or the energy because they've seen New York come back from 20 down. So even if Boston jumps out on them, they still going to be like, fuck it. We done seen this before and we at the crib. So, I mean, normally you would say Boston got to get in there and get out on them and go up by like a dub and then just hold them up. But shit, can they?
Yeah. Nah, hey, listen. And then, you know, that's where all the little things, this where all the little things start to happen. Now you noticing Spike Lee courtside, Anthony Mason and
they said
John
keep Spike Lee out
Starks.
the building
Wait,
if you want
said
to win.
Anthony Mason, damn.
Hey, you know, John Starks and all the
Anthony Mason has been deceased for I don't know how
Rest
long.
in peace, Anthony Mason.
Oh shit! No, damn. I'm thinking about John Starks, motherfucking Patrick Ewing. My bad. Damn. But you're talking about all the Knicks,
and maybe
Allen
Charles
Houston.
Oakley, but you know they
Oh no, he can't get in the building.
No, I said, but they ruffled his feathers and tried to rough him up.
I thought they cleared that up.
Or he was roughing them up.
I thought they cleared that up though.
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen Charles Oakley in the building.
Okay.
Scotty
But
boy.
you know, the funny thing is that's who I got it mixed up with. But you know, it's the same era. But again, you're gonna have all the Knicks.
John Starks, Larry Johnson in there.
You got
Larry Johnson was in there.
You got all the Knicks behind the basket.
Carmelo be in there
with his son. You know, it's just a lot. It's a lot going on. You're gonna have all walks of life in there. You know what I'm saying? It's just going.
Tracy Morgan's.
Tracy Morgan. Hopefully not throwing up in the front row.
Absolutely.
You know, off what he said was food poisoning. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that powder
delaying the game.
That powder.
You stupid. Okay. All right. So no call. Hey, earlier it was a sidebar. I saw. I think it was it Deal World that said something about it was Alf Sucks at Mox Drafts was saying Greg Oden. Somebody was trying to convince him that Greg Oden was worth the number 1 pick. That he wasn't worth the number 1 pick. I'm sorry. Y'all agree that he was or was not?
He wasn't, and I was arguing with a dude in Minnesota about that. Like, man, they need to take Durant. Portland should take Durant, and he was like, "He's a big man. You got to get a big man." This is when you don't know basketball. You win with a big man.
That used to be the game.
Was he shaking like that too?
Yeah, he was, man. It used to be the game, Bong. But at that point, when I saw Oden and I saw Durant, I was like, this is a can't miss. I felt like Durant was a generational talent.
But okay, Durant generational, but so what was Greg Oden? Was he worth a 1, 2? Was he still up there? Because I mean, somebody could also be worth it.
Yeah, he was a 2 pick. Okay. I would have took him second,
but not first.
Greg Oden was talented. I didn't think he was a generational talent, a transcendent talent. We're talking about Durant, 6'10", put the ball on the ground, do everything, guard-like skills at that height, in that time frame, in that era. That was very, very new.
Okay.
even to the point to where they weren't even listing his real height because they didn't want him to be marketed as a post player or a center.
Mm-hmm.
They were on one point they were saying Durant was 6'9". They said that for a while. He's 6'9". And you see him standing up next to DeMarcus Cousins and DeAndre Jordan looking them dead in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 6'9".
Yeah. And Nunya, you say you like Carmelo, you put him in Boston and he wins championships. Man, it was interesting. Carmelo had J.R. Smith on this show recently.
Saw that too.
And I watched it, and it was just interesting to listen to how they put that that Denver team together. And then when they brought Iverson over and all that, they were, I think they were just a
They ran
piece
into
or
the
two
Lakers.
away. Yeah, but I
No.
think they were a piece or two away. Okay.
DP, that's what happened.
Again, they lost to him, but I'm saying I think they were a piece or two away from making it happen. They had a squad, dog.
They did.
They just it was kind of one of those things where you have it and then all of a sudden it's just you break it up because J.R. Smith was gone before Carmelo even left, right? Did J.R. Smith
think they
go
had
to
a-
Cleveland or
No, he went to New York.
no? That was
they had a-
after Carmelo was in New York, right? Carmelo went to New York and then brought.
And then J.R. Smith went to New York after him.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
J.R. went after him.
Didn't they have a season that one season? I think it was a 50-win season. This is back when 50-win seasons was a thing, right? So I think they had a 50-win season where I think him and Iverson might have both averaged 30. It was something crazy. It was,
And it was the
high
Spurs,
20s.
but it was the Spurs that took them out, right?
it was Lakers. It was Kobe and them.
Oh, they
Kobe
lost.
and them.
They lost to the Spurs with the Iverson squad, I think, right? When they first brought Iverson over with Carmelo, they beat the Spurs the first game, and then the Spurs mollywopped them and knocked them out.
I don't know why I felt like it was the Lakers. Maybe I'm thinking about a different Denver squad because Kobe had some battles with Carmelo in Denver. But maybe it wasn't. It wasn't.
But they were up against them too.
I
Like
think
it was.
I think it might have been when Chauncey Billups was there because AI and Billups wasn't there at the same time, were they?
No. Yeah, because
Who came first?
at
Billups,
that point, because at that point, AI didn't he get traded for Billups? Didn't he go to Detroit?
Denver. Okay, to Detroit. Okay, that's what it was. Okay,
Iverson got traded to Detroit. Billups came to Denver.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because then they had Iverson, Stuckey, Rip Hamilton. It was a weird squad. He just couldn't even get his number 3 because Stuckey had it.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so they were in Denver together 2006 to 2008.
Who is this? Iverson and
Carmelo. So they had Iverson, Carmelo, Kenyon Martin, Nene Hilario, J.R. Smith, Anthony Carter, Lennis Kleza, Eduardo Nahara, Steve Blake, Chucky Atkins.
That was the Lakers put him out.
Yeah,
Lakers put him out. I knew it was Kobe. Yeah, it was in the first round. They had to play the Lakers first round of the 2008 playoffs.
And Camby was the defensive player of the year in 2007.
What's the first year that Iverson came over?
Kobe 4-0'd them niggas.
KP.
Yeah.
What's the first year that Iverson came over?
2006.
And who did they play in that? Who did they meet in the playoffs?
I'm looking that up now.
Or 2000, because it was 06-07.
Yeah, San Antonio beat him first round.
That's what I was talking about, Bong.
No, the season where they went crazy, where they had the chance, it was that year that they ran into the Lakers. That was the year that I think they had won.
Yeah, and they got Iverson on December 20th of 2006.
It was like mid-season, right?
They gave up Andre Miller, Joe Smith, and 2 first-round draft picks.
Okay. Because J.R. Smith was like a sixth man, right?
Yes.
With them. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a squad.
So even
Nunya,
so that's-
look, I can attest to this. He says basketball destroys your lower body over time. I ended up tearing my Achilles, man. After my real playing days were over and I was still on the weekend warrior shit, giving dudes the blues on Sunday mornings, and I ended up tearing my Achilles. So that's a definite fact that basketball can destroy your lower body over time.
I've had 2 knee surgeries. I had microfracture surgery. So yes, and was awake during the during the microfracture surgery. And
damn.
was having conversations during the surgery.
Mm, this dude.
That's funny, man. Looking back, I was looking at the that Denver Nuggets record.
Mm-hmm. You talking about the one where you said they won 50?
Yeah, it was the 8th seed with 50 wins.
Mm.
Goodness gracious.
Well, that kind of went down this year, right? People are hovering around 50. There's like four teams that had like 50 wins, 49, somewhere around there.
No, I'm sorry. That's my dumb ass. They had 54 wins. They were the see. I'm looking at conflicting at different shit. They got beat by the Lakers in the first round one year, but that year in 08, they made it to the Western Conference Finals and they lost to the Lakers 4-2. That was the one I was talking about. So they made it to the Western Conference Finals. Remember, and in that Western Conference Finals, Kobe and Carmelo was going at it.
And Kenyon Martin was guarding Kobe.
Yep, they eventually in the fourth quarters they would switch and they would put Carmelo on Kobe, and Kobe's guarding Melo, Melo's guarding Kobe. They was going after it. That shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was the third year they had Iverson, right?
Right. So that was the year that I said that they should have that was their chance. They made it to the Western Conference Finals, lost to the Lakers 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. That was their best shot of making it to the championship.
And George Karl was their coach, and they all seemed to hate him.
Punk ass George Karl. You know, his son played
but
for
he
the
was
Lakers.
he was the coach of the Sonics in their heyday with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. So, but he could have been on that old school shit too, or just outdated.
Kenyon Martin
methods
definitely
and
ate
stuff.
his ass.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Kenyon Martin, Carmelo.
Yeah.
You know, because he talked bad about Carmelo after Carmelo left and went to New York, and he talked about Carmelo.
But they had beef inside. It just had never leaked out. Like
Pause.
George Karl came.
Oh my God.
What?
That was super pause worthy.
It was tension between them. And it just hadn't been leaked to the general public. But when George Karl first came in, he I believe he alluded to something like Carmelo wasn't the rookie of the year and shouldn't have been rookie of the year.
Yeah, hating. Should Carmelo have been rookie of the year?
Absolutely.
I think he should have.
Absolutely.
The year him and LeBron?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. He definitely
he averaged just a little bit more points, but he took his team to he got to the playoffs.
Yep. That was a clear case of you know what we doing here.
That was home cooking.
Yeah.
That was we gotta set we have a crown waiting for this guy.
Yeah, we know what the future holds.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think he was snubbed for that rookie of the year. He probably does too. And Carmelo.
Oh, he does. And Kenyon Martin said that everybody in Denver, they all said that he should have had that trophy. That should be
Yeah.
his.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. All right. Well, shoot. I know we've been on here for a little bit. We done talked about the couple games and the one that's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you, KP, have? I don't know. I ain't heard much from Scotty Boy. I don't know if Scotty Boy is in here, but oh, bless you.
Oh man, so the picks.
Yeah,
So let me start
the
by
locks.
saying, excuse me. Let me start by saying,
And wait, hold on. Before you do go, did you guys want to say anything about the Golden State and Minnesota game? Because we did not say anything about that one.
that Golden State, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Chris, what up?
Carter?
You said, hey,
Minnesota wins.
send him a promo. No, you got to highlight that comment. That's for KP.
Yeah, hey man, you keep calling me KJ, man. Come on, man. Chris, man, you can't be an asshole, man. You gotta at least get your name right. Come on, Chris. I responded to you with the comments, Chris, and I put KP in the comments, brother.
KJ, KP, Lakers in 5.
But who y'all got in that one? Golden State, Minnesota?
I got Minnesota.
Minnesota?
I know, Chris. I'll give you a hard time.
Bong, who you got?
No Steph, Minnesota. If Minnesota doesn't win, it's not a good look for them.
Will Draymond have a good game tomorrow?
Did we talk about we talked about the you guys talked about it last night with Draymond talking that bullshit about I'm a family man and I got all this and all that other little bullshit.
Great basketball player.
Well,
yeah, man.
Saying he's tired of people, the narrative,
create this narrative
about him being an angry black man.
The narrative that's created around Draymond Green is self-inflicted. As a matter of fact, like I was saying, I was
D-Riles in the building. My bad.
D-Riley was good with it.
He said no shot for Golden State.
But what I was saying was with Draymond, the league is giving you so much leeway. Like Draymond, the shit he does consistently, he should be facing like long-term suspensions off of just a history of doing bullshit. But like he'll do some bullshit, like kick somebody in the nuts, get a technical, and then he'll walk down a ref, and the ref is literally walking away from him like, all right, Draymond, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like, Dre, when we see that, no one knows about your charitable, donations off the court. No one knows about, you go onto your daughter's games and tournaments and supporting her team and her school and whatever. All we know about these athletes is what we see on the court, right? And so the way you present yourself on the court, I'm not even calling you the angry black man. I'm just calling you somebody that does not know how to control their emotions. And somehow, maybe because it's entertaining, the league allows you to get away with it. So you should be the last one that's complaining about a narrative that's being created. The only narrative that's being created is that Draymond knows some dirty secrets about the league because the shit he does, he should have been tossed out every single game this year. Like, there's not a game he's played where he didn't warrant getting 2 technicals. If he played a full game, he should have got tossed in every single game that he played.
Well, he argues just about every call, like, and he's cussing and getting on the ref. So I will say, yeah, they let some of it go, and they call some of it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like we said yesterday, I think I did mention kind of along the lines of what you're saying. That is exactly what he's speaking to. Whether you care about it or not, or we don't see it. I know that's what he's talking about, which is like he's more. I think his statement was about I'm more than basketball. And that's kind of what his podcast is and all of that stuff. Like he may discuss sports and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's more than the sport. But I do know that from a fan's perspective, what's displayed publicly is the text and the files and your, they're judging you off of your profession, which is
Yeah,
primarily
no one's
basketball.
talking about you. No one's talking about you off the court. No one's calling you a thug. Nobody's saying that you're beating up on women. We know that you'll beat up on teammates. That's, again, maybe that's part of the narrative because that video was leaked or whatever. Like Chris says, Draymond, lead the podcast to two P's and a Marley sized bong. Focus on playing basketball during the season. If he wasn't fucking up, no one would care. This is true. Yes, indeed.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I heard some folks. I saw something comparing him to like a Bill Laimbeer, like how Laimbeer's antics were perceived as, oh, he's such a tough nose
Yeah,
player and all this kind of stuff. But now
But that was
Draymond's
also
is perceived as, he's a dirty player and he's always
DP. That was also 80s. That was 80s basketball, right? I seen a motherfucker get his. What happened to Rudy Tomjanovich? Then he get
got
his
punched
eyes
in his eye by
broken.
Kermit Washington.
Like,
Yeah,
and
blindsided by Kermit Washington. Got put out the
guess what?
NBA for good.
And probably Kermit Washington probably didn't even sit out a game.
No. Kermit Washington got banned.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the original number 24 for the Lakers.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that shit was that you damn near killed a motherfucker on TV on tape delay, of course. But what I'm saying is, like, back then, yeah, like Draymond, if you played in the '80s, man, you'd be a tough guy. You'd be an enforcer. You'd be one of those guys. But it's not the '80s. This the same way I could say, hey, man, Vontez Burfict from the Cincinnati Bengals back in the day. If you played in the '80s, you could keep taking motherfuckers' heads off.
the
Yeah.
85 Bears
The league said
running through all three quarterbacks you got.
the
But
league said we moving in a different direction. That shit is not acceptable. So
even with that though, Bong, you say it's not the 80s, and you say, man, we're tired of the antics. He's got he's got what? Yeah, 4 championships.
And that's part of why he gets respect, I believe, from the
Yeah,
league and
so
the
it's
refs
like
in terms of like giving them some
leeway.
leeway.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying. So it's like you say what you want, but the man's got 4 championships. If he was acting how he was acting, and he hadn't won, yeah, he'd be Isaiah Stewart. It'd be like, man, get this wild guy out of here. He wouldn't get the respect. If he ran down on a ref, he'd be ejected. He'd be suspended for games. All of those things.
Yeah,
But
and I feel you. What I'm saying about it is, and it's what Bong has said too. But I'm gonna say I get what he's saying. Like he's just saying, listen, I'm more than basketball. Like y'all don't know me like that. Like y'all talking about basketball. Like I'm a successful basketball player, successful black man. Y'all talking about basketball. You don't know the rest of what I do. So yeah, that's true. I get it.
what you do on the court is cheap as hell.
there was something that happened at the Timberwolves arena at the Target Center. He was riding the exercise bike, and people in the crowd were yelling racial slurs at him, calling him black monkey and all kind of stuff. While he's at work, trying to get ready for the game. So these are the other things that he's dealing with, and he's not running in the stands, Ron Artest people. Nah, he's being professional.
Ron Artest probably heard worse. Ron Artest got hit. If Ron Artest didn't get hit, he wouldn't have ran into the stands. Hey, Chris.
Ron Artest got pushed before he got hit. He got mushed in the face, and he went and laid his ass on that scores table because he didn't want to go there with Ben Wallace. Like, Come on, man.
That would have been a hell of a brawl right there. Ron Artest strong as I remember. One of my boys was talking
Rob
about
was
how
selective crazy.
no. He said he was so one of my boys was talking about how he was in a club and somebody was trying to talk to some chick like that was like past him or whatever. And he said he just feels this big, strong push. And this dude that I'm talking about is big as hell. He said he turned around this motherfucking Ron Artest, then moved his big ass. So Artest wasn't no pushover. You know what I'm saying? Ben Wallace was he was that Shannon Sharp strong, that country strong. Motherfuckers be lifting bales of hay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
haystack. Yeah, absolutely.
On Saturday morning. But let me see what I want to see about what Chris said. Oh yeah, how many titles does Draymond get without Kerr, a good organization, and Steph especially? Probably zero. Yeah. I mean, he played his role very well. You know what I'm saying? He's
that
he's
depends on the lot.
Yeah,
where else would he have
I'm like,
landed? Like we saying
there's no
probably
way to
zero.
answer
Damn.
You don't even know
Where's the
what
alternative?
are.
Where's he playing
Yeah,
instead of
we don't
Golden
know the
State?
other pieces. We don't know coach. Like, come
Orlando. Orlando. Yeah, put him in Orlando.
Oh shit.
So, but you know what I'm saying? He's played his role very well, man. He's you know what I'm saying? He's Steph's enforcer. I think, say what you will, Steph plays his best basketball off of Draymond Green. Right? They've been together for so long that you can always like it's so funny to watch them. When Draymond Green's on the floor with Steph, when Draymond has the ball, I don't give a fuck what Steph is doing. Draymond knows exactly what pocket to get it to Steph in to where he can get off a good shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're always on the same page. And then you see other guys, it's like they don't see it the way Draymond sees it with Steph. So that's a great he's been an enforcer for Steph, and you know it's done well for him in his career. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Steph Curry and the Warriors.
But I will argue though, Bong, that like the comment is that if you didn't have Steph, you wouldn't be a champion. And I'm saying, look, man, before Draymond got to the NBA, Draymond won in college.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond didn't play and have all those same antics that he had at Michigan State under Izzo.
Right.
So Draymond is playing a role wherever he goes. And who knows? You put him somewhere else, he's probably still a champion.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on the landing spot, for sure.
Like KD, right? You put him anywhere else, he's a champion.
You put him with Golden State, he was a champion.
And that's where Draymond is.
Yeah, right. And Curry.
Okay.
The thing is, would Curry win it without them?
Yeah.
That's the question. Draymond does a lot to open shit up for Curry.
Absolutely.
You know, so it could be said for both of them. Like, you know,
what I'm saying is that when they talk about that system, I think Draymond is perfect for that system with Steph Curry. I don't know if you put a Draymond, let's say you put Draymond and LeBron. I don't know if that works because of LeBron's game.
I think it would. I'm telling you, I think it would.
If the Lakers had Draymond this year, he probably would have been a good fit for the squad.
We'd still be playing.
I don't know if he'd still be playing.
Oh no,
but he would have been a good fit for that squad.
We'd still be playing because Rudy
choked out Gobert.
Yeah, he wouldn't win for a double like that.
Absolutely, he'd have choked out. He'd have choked out Gobert, and got a flagrant one.
Yeah.
Hey, Nunya, what documentary is this? The Artest where he jumps into the high school stands.
Oh wow!
I want to know which one that is. I'll check that one out. I'm down with a good sports documentary.
Artest done this before.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Artest certified crazy, man. But
D. Rao says he's been granted immunity for his actions in the Malice in the Palace Rumble.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I knew something was off with Artest when Artest was talking about trying to get a part-time job at Circuit City.
no, he
He
did
played
have
for
one.
the
Yeah, he
Chicago
had one.
Bulls.
He did
He
have
had
one.
one.
He had one
Oh, he had
Yeah.
one?
for the
Yeah, they
discount.
made him
Yeah,
Yeah,
stop
for the
working.
discounts. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Hell yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I knew.
And he said he used to drink before games.
Then
He got the game
he
drunk.
then after he was promoting his album and trying to promote his artist from Queensbridge, and he asked the NBA, he asked the Indiana Pacers if he could get like a month off of vacation when the season was starting. Like, he's like, yeah. I just finished this project. I need a month off to collect myself,
Hey, and Chris Darter is saying
brother.
we need to put some respect on his name. He's like, excuse me, sir, there is no Ron Artest. Meta world peace.
World peace.
His mama call him Ron. I'm gonna call him Ron.
Call him
Here
wrong.
you go.
Absolutely. That's wild as hell.
And
Man.
I saw your comment on Fields. He said Fields went to Georgia to be a stud at. I went to Ohio State, but that he was at. No, this ain't the one where he was at. Here it is. Justin Fields went to Georgia before Ohio State. Some idiot Georgia fans started dropping M-bombs on their own guy. Deep South is a effed up place. Besides nature and some friendlies. But yeah, I actually like the Georgia Bulldogs, man, and I remember Fields being there, and I'm just not getting the right opportunity.
It's different down there. So
Yeah,
again, and I don't,
facts on this too, engineer. But go ahead, Bong.
I just don't. I just don't feed into the whole. I don't know, man. I'll keep that to myself.
I think the
Like,
Midwest is wild as well.
but because my point, what I was gonna say was, Draymond, if you an old school tough guy, like hearing some shit in the crowd like that, like why is that? Why are you allowing that to cause like a rant, or for you to start talking about I'm a successful black man. Like,
I think that
what are
was
we
toward
talking?
the media, though. I think that's not necessarily what you hear in the crowd. I think it's the media that he's referring to, because they're the ones who paint the picture, not a dumbass fan in the crowd. Like, we wouldn't know about that shit sitting at the
Right.
crib. We only know what stories the media puts out there and what we see him doing on the actual courts. You know what I'm saying? So,
D.
but
Riley talking to you, KP.
What'd he say? Let me see.
KP, take the shades off if you can't read. Hey, what Skip say?
put your glasses back on. I'm an Evan Hall of Fame, D. Riles. He said, that's what I'm saying, KP.
Woo! Oh shit! Oh
Guys, keep
man,
writing here for me.
shit's off the rails, man. It's officially off the rails. But check this out. So we go. Everybody saying Minnesota tomorrow,
I got Minnesota.
Yeah, I got Minnesota.
Yeah. And
and then
especially if Curry is out, like, well, he's definitely out this next game. And then shit, a week, that's three games. They could be down 3-1 even when if he comes back. If he comes back.
yes, indeed, KP
Yeah.
2028, indeed. But
Oh wait.
you
who's the bozos?
right, fuck them, whoever they are, fuck them. But man, hey, Kev, you got picks?
Yeah. So let me start off with yesterday.
Time out.
No.
Brother. You
Hold on.
don't just start, brother. Whoa. Bong. What
Whoa.
do we need to let
Hey,
these folks know before
the
KP
thoughts and
starts?
views, of KP are his and his alone, and do not reflect the thoughts and views of Two Peas in the Bong. Please gamble responsibly. We do not have any sponsors.
And KP's motto when it comes to this is Bet your bottom dollar. Just don't bet the ones on top. KP.
All right. So with last night's picks, I hope Scotty Boy's in here, man.
I think
With
Scotty
He
last
in
was
the
he
night's
dra-
picks,
was.
we didn't do good last night, man. We had 15 picks. There was one that I did this morning afterwards, so I didn't give it to y'all, but I did write it down because I did go with it. So out of 16 picks, won only 7 and pushed on one. So technically 8 out of 16. That's 50%. That is
So
the lowest.
do with that information what you will. Listen to this
That is
man if
the
you want to.
that is the lowest that we have been. A lot of those L's coming on the cusps of the Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City game. Jokic having that bad game, and Westbrook not coming through. So, but out of the Cleveland, who did Cleveland, Indiana game, there were, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 7 picks, and I was 4 for 7 in that game. So I actually did pretty good in that game. But getting into the picks for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I like Peyton Pritchard's points over the 8.5. Remember, KP never goes under because I'm rooting for everyone to have a good game. So if I don't think you're going to have a good game, I'm not going to take your under. I'm just not going to take you. How about that?
There you
So
go.
How about it?
Miles McBride, Deuce McBride, as the people that know him call
How
him.
many points?
Deuce McBride. I'm taking the over on the 5.5 points.
Okay.
You know what? He's a role player. Role players seem to play better at home. So, like that.
So he'll knock down a couple threes.
Absolutely.
All right.
Drew Holiday. You know what? I'm feeling saucy. Jason Tatum on points.
Where we at?
JT goes over 27.5.
I was gonna say 28. I hadn't even looked at the line. I thought it was
He's gonna
28.
go over.
Hey,
Big
he's gonna
game.
need to.
Big game for Jason Tatum tomorrow, y'all.
That's a strong
Big,
28.
big game
Hey,
tomorrow.
what are his threes?
3-pointers
Yeah, what
for
is his 3-pointers? What's that line?
Jason Tatum. Let's see. I don't know what it's at because it has this green thing, and I'm looking on Prize Picks. You know when it has the green thing next to it first, like that's the low one, and then I click and it's immediately red. So I'm guessing it's over 3.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Pick wizard. You can't clearly read the board. Do with that information what you will.
So
Hey Chris, go ahead, KP.
looking at, so I'm going to look at the PRA, and I'll tell you PRA. You know what? It's a home game. I'll go Mitchell Robinson over on the PRA. Mitchell Robinson's PRA is 10.5.
Okay.
So
I don't think that's a bad pick.
yeah, Mitchell Robinson again. Role players seem to play better at home. Deuce McBride, he doesn't have a bad PRA either. His is 7.5. I think that he could get that in points. So I would take that as well. Deuce McBride on the over PRA for 7.5. I'm looking at some of the other ones. I would also urge you guys to look at fantasy points. If you're looking at fantasy points, Mikal Bridges. I would take the over 29 for Mikal Bridges on fantasy points because again, in all these games, he's got like 2 or 3 steals, and he's got to steal to secure victories on both. And steals and fantasy points, believe they're 2 points apiece. So I could see Mikal Bridges going over on fantasy for 29.
And Jason Tatum's threes are 2.5, man. So 3 points.
So
Three
threes.
sorry. Yeah, 3 threes.
I could
That's
see
over. That's
I
over.
can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Points and assists. Let's see. Points and assists. Mitchell Robinson over the 5.5. It's not that he's going to get assists. I think he'll get 6 rebounds.
Yeah. I think he'll get probably like 7, maybe 8.
Yeah,
But,
I'm just saying 6 because it's over the 5.5.
Yeah, but I was thinking you said his PRA too on the
Yeah.
other line, so I think that's a cool bet. Hey, but this is your thing, baby. Let me
This guy right here.
when they come for you.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
OG Anunoby.
Bad bets.
OG Anunoby rebounds and assists over 6.5 as well.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I'm not gonna touch Karl Anthony Towns this game.
I hope not. Pause.
This guy, man. And so that's that's pretty much it for the Boston New York game. I'm sure there's probably some other stuff I could probably look at and decide, but I'll leave that like that. And then looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors, I'll take Draymond over 10 points. It's 9.5. So I'll take Dre over the 9.5 points.
He'll need to.
You said what?
He will need to.
Exactly.
In order for them to win.
Exactly. I don't like Kuminga at 14.5 this game. I don't necessarily like that. Nickeil Alexander-Walker over 6. I do like that.
You don't like Kuminga?
Nah, not over 14.5. That's too much pressure.
What's the pressure? What's the pressure?
I was like, we both thinking the same shit. Like on who?
Yeah.
That ain't walking through that door. Right.
Nah, I listen. I want a stress-free parlay. That's stressful.
It's too much pressure on you.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I don't need my blood pressure going up and down, man. I just want to enjoy it.
Scotty boy say Warriors money line.
Steve. Honestly, for this, I haven't been betting on it. Like I'm not betting on any teams. I'm just looking at individual players.
They're in Golden State. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bong, while KP is getting his thoughts together on a few picks so he could kind of get some rapid fire going. Engineers asking, what's the recovery time on your pec?
I think I can start rehab in probably like 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. But I've heard it's like a 6 month recovery. So we'll see. We'll see what it is, man. I guess I get to work on cardio for the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, it's a silly ass injury that I'm definitely trying to bounce back from as soon as possible. You did. Appreciate you asking though, bro.
And I kind of like this Cameron Payne 1 rebound, man. I ain't gonna lie. You just don't know how much.
Had one wish.
Just that 1 rebound. That's kind of enticing. I ain't gonna lie.
Chris
Look.
Funny as hell. Be firing off the comments. Oh man. Yeah, nah. Stairs is great for cardio, Nunya. Definitely. I hate all that shit.
Okay, so I got some
He
more
said,
here.
I'll announce the fight.
I got
They're trying to start something.
so I have the Gary Payton the second PRA over 9. I have the Jimmy Butler over 5.5 rebounds. And then let's look at assists.
Nanya said he loves stadiums. Walk them stairs, baby.
I'll do the Moses Moody 1 assist.
Get your workout on wherever you at.
Crunches in the bed. Huh? Jeez.
And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Again, y'all, if y'all want to, follow that advice, I saw Scotty Boy. Scotty Boy is in the building. He said I'm here. So Scotty Boy, I know you've been coming up just a player short in some of yours, so you've been really close. If you want to put any of this advice that KP has for you to work, see if that can get you over the hump. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, you know where it came from, baby.
What you
Scotty
gonna
Boy, did you
do?
get all those picks?
What you gonna do when they come for
Scotty
you?
Boy, you get those picks?
Okay, we
I
waiting.
guess.
We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. All right. Well, shoot. Anything I want to add before we get out of here?
Nah, man. You know what? Thank y'all for rocking with us, man, on this Friday night. I know y'all could be doing a ton of things, but hey, man, y'all listening to the podcast, y'all chiming in, and I appreciate that.
Right. And I will
Yeah.
say I've seen the numbers go up. I know I see a bunch of our regulars. So shout out to y'all as usual. Echoing what KP said. Those of y'all, because I see, there may be some folks who just are in here and not saying anything. Hopefully we can get y'all to subscribe and just continue to rock with us. And if it's something you want to say, throw it on out there. As you can see, we talk back. So, and we,
Yeah.
it's all respect. So, tis what it is.
It is.
All
Hey,
right.
like DP says, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate all the support.
All right,
Man,
y'all.
be here tomorrow night after this Knicks game. You know what I'm saying? Like we will definitely. I will make sure that I am available, especially if the Knicks win. If the Knicks win, Nunya, we're gonna try and take it easy on you tomorrow. But let's hope Boston wins for the Nunya's sake.
None you're gonna be drowning in them sorrows at Tom's Tavern.
Listen, absolutely not, Nunya. You know what? You cool, Nunya, but I can't stand Boston. I'm a
Oh,
Lakers fan. Can't stand him.
look at Chris. Shout out to you, Chris.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all, man. All right. Well, 2 P's in the bong. We out.
Get them balloons. Come on.
Peace.
There they go.